why not? So I imagine the beaches.
Did you go to the beach?
We did not go to the beach. It was cold. It was cold. We know we went to the water, the port, many times, but we didn't go to the beach. So exactly. So with that, we'll turn to the Shalom Aleichem. We're on page number 5. Page number 5. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech, malachei hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech, malachei hamlochim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech, malachei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we now turn to the Lachun Ranana on page number 11. In the Siddur, page number 11. L'chon eranena l'Adonai nari alitzur yishenu nikad mafana b'toda bizmiro nari alo nikad mafana b'toda bizmiro nari alo kiel gadol Adonai hu melech gadol al kol Elohim asher biyado mekerei aretz v'toafot harim lo asher biyado mekerei aretz v'toafot harim lo. The last stanza of the English on page 11. Come then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai, who formed us. And I want to stop there because this is Shabbat, but it's also Hanukkah. And put your minds back 2,200 years. And yes, the temple was still the mainstay of Jewish life and Jewish identity. And the Jewish community was very much focused on maintaining the worship. It was the second temple, and as years went by and Antiochus led to another Antiochus, led to another Antiochus, the bad guy whom you and I know about is Antiochus number 4. His dad, number 3, was not so bad, but number 4 was the bad guy. And so as the dynasty of Antiochus continues, and there is ascendant, we would call it anti-Semitism, almost crowning, no pun intended, with Antiochus IV, some Jewish people said, don't make waves. If we can't go to the temple, if there's an idol constructed there, shashtil, don't make waves. And the Hashmon clan, the Maccabean clan, said no. There are things that are worth fighting for, and if need be, shouldn't happen, even dying for. And it was that community that began a series of battles which led to eventually a war. And you and I know the rest of the story. But it's really initiated because there was a community of Jews that refused to bow to idols, which were becoming ever present, nearly ubiquitous, and some Jews were willing to. With that in mind, looking here on page number 16 in the Siddur, again, a psalm that we traditionally recite on Shabbat, but I want this in the front of our minds because it is Hanukkah. And it's the top of page number 16. Then we'll turn to some song sheets in just a moment. Top of 16. Worshippers of idols, be shamed for praising false gods. All that is deemed supreme, bow before God. Zion hears of it and rejoices. The cities of Judah exult as you, Adonai, pass judgment. And now you understand what that means in the context of Hanukkah and the Maccabees. You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine. Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful. Light is sown for the righteous, and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name. And thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name, I think would have a reference within this original time frame to the mindset of Yom Kippur. And remember, on Yom Kippur, who sang or who announced or said the holy name? Only the high priest once, and everybody else stood around. And frankly, they said, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchut Olam Voed, so as to not hear because the name was too sacred for the average guy on the street to experience or to encounter. But in this phrase, there's a yearning for the democratization of sacred word, that everybody can say God's name, everybody can pray. You don't need to be a Kohen at one specific hour on one day out of the entire year. It's Hanukkah. And we have two Hanukkot here. And one is empty, purposely, and one is full. This is the Hanukkah in my head that cannot have candles put in because of the Jewish people in Bondi Beach who will never be able to put Hanukkah candles in a Hanukkah menorah again. And it's here on our table in Mobile, Alabama. Because Jewish people the world over are always connected, everyone to the next. You see how little space there is between each little cup, how little space there is between each candle, because each Jew is just this close to the next Jew. How much energy does it take to light a flame and to bring warmth and light and caring into the world? Very little. And how much emptiness is in the world because of the hate that you and I have seen recently in our lives, going back whether 2 years to October 7th and the meantime thereafter, or in Providence, Rhode Island, or at MIT, or at Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia. We, in effect, are the bearers of a candle, the bearers of a flame to bring light and warmth into our world. And with that, we have some song sheets tonight. And please turn to one. It's entitled by Debbie Friedman, "Oh, Hear My Prayer," or "Light These Lights." It's on 2 different pages. It's the same song. But we'll begin this evening with this little piece. them with goodness, mercy, and peace. Hear my prayer to you. Oh, hear my prayer, sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love. Bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights, see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights, see the way to you. Let us say Amen. My prayer I sing to you, gracious. Mercy and peace. Hear my prayer to you. We're used to singing Hanukkah songs. The Maccabees, the Hashmonaim, would have been singing Tehillim, Psalms from the Bible, Tehillim. If you and I were to be, in a way, able to be next to them, peeking over their shoulders, they wouldn't be singing even the most famous of all Hanukkah songs, I Have a Little Dreidel. They'd be singing Psalms from the Bible. Page 21. Havul Adonai b'nei Elim, Havul Adonai kavod va'oz, Havul Adonai kavod shemo, Hishtachavu Adonai b'hadrat kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim, el kavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shaver arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et arzei halvanon, Vayarkidem kamo egel, Lebanon v'Sirion kamo ven reimim, Kol Adonai chosei v'havot eish, Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yacholel Ayalot, Vayechesof Ya'arot, Uvechalo Kulo Omer Kavod, Adonai Lamabul Yashav, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Le'olam, Adonai Oz Le'amo Yiten, Adonai Yevarech Et Amo Vashalom. And on page 23. Tonight, the first two, and on page 25, the last two stanzas of L'Charodi. Lecha dodi likrot kala P'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrot kala P'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Hishmiyonu el hamayuchad. Adonai echad ushmo echad. L'shem ultif eret v'lit hila. Lecha dodi likrot kala. P'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrot Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Ki mekor habracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machashava techila. Lecha dodi likrot kala. P'nei Shabbat nikab. Page 25, Yamin. Yamin osmol tifrotzi. V'yet Adonai taritzi. Al yad ish ben partzi. V'nismecha v'nagila. Lecha dodi likrot kala. P'nei Shabbat nikabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala. Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola. Toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrot kala. P'nei Shabbat nikabela. Please remain standing. We turn to page number 29. A very short psalm, but again, in light of Hanukkah and the theme of the devotion of the Maccabee family, dynasty, community, devotion to God. The first stanza here on the top of page 29, slowly, and then we continue. Adonai is sovereign, robed in splendor, girded in strength. The earth stands firm, not to be dislodged. From earliest time you were enthroned. You are eternal. The rivers rise up, Adonai. The rivers raise up their roar. The rivers raise up their waves above the roar of the vast sea and the majestic breakers of the ocean. Adonai stands supreme in the heavens. In your house, beautiful in its holiness, your testimonies endure, Adonai, for all time. And tomorrow's Haftorah, which is very specific, has a reference to God's house because, again, the mindset of the Maccabean community and the community after the Maccabean fight for autonomy is that we now have authority to go back to our own house without any obstacles, without impediments, to live our lives and to conduct our ceremonies without constraint. That's what Hanukkah is all about. The Baruch Hu is on page number 39A. Excuse me, page 39A. Baruch Hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach le'olam voed. And as we're seated, look on the English side on page 39A near the bottom. It's the little red arrow on the English side of page 39A, the little red arrow on the English side. Who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzvaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. And we know, of course, of the significance of the light and the menorah. Light and dark is how Jewish life turns. The menorah, central to the mind of the Hashmonaim, the Hashmon clan, because they inherited it from 100, 200, 300, 500, 800, 1,000 years before. Was it the exact same menorah as first constructed in the time of Moses and Aaron? We don't know. But structurally, it is that idea that the menorah is from the time of surely getting out of Egypt all the way into the future. So light is synonymous with freedom, autonomy, liberty. That's light. And with that, we have some song sheets tonight again. And the second song is by Ilana Jagoda. Ilana Jagoda, it's here on our song sheet. Ilana Jagoda. Tomorrow's brand new start. I'm gonna light this candle. Those who know of darkened days may trust, they may trust. Light is on its way. I'm gonna light tonight. Yeah, light. It's light tonight. Light this like a doll, those who feel alone. Gonna light this candle so that they may find their way home. I'm gonna light this candle. Hearts are broken, so they may know. I've heard the prayers that they've spoken. All right. This light tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna light this light tonight. This candle, our lives upside down. This candle, in stillness, the world turns around. I'm gonna light this candle. Children who are great believers, we may know, they are our greatest teachers. Light, yes, like tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna light. It's light tonight. Shema's on page 41. We just saw the candles here. We just sang about seeing light. And you know how important the Shema is, hearing and listening. Tonight, when you are singing the Shema, when you are praying the Shema, we are doing so for people who need to hear it. And they may not see our candles from across the world to Australia or elsewhere. But by the way we sing and say the Shema and pray the Shema, they'll hear the Shema and they'll hear the light as well. This is for Australia. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'avta et Adonai Elohecha be'achol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shachbecha v'kumecha u'geshartam liot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ktavtam al mizuzot beitecha u'v'sharecha. Adonai Elohechem emet. On the English side of page number 44. U'malchuto beratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam. Who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty? Who is like you, adorned in holiness, revered in praise, working wonders? Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kadesh noratilot osef elem. Your children recognize your sovereignty as you split the sea before Moses. This is my God, they responded, and said, Adonai will reign forever and ever. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokea yam lifnei Moshe ze'eli anu v'yamru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. And so it is written, Adonai has rescued Jacob and redeemed him from the hand of those more powerful than he. Baruch atah Adonai, who redeemed the people Israel. As we turn to page 45, Hashkivenu, looking at the last three lines on the English side. And again, tonight I'm looking at the entire service through the lens of what I think the Hashmonaim, the Hashmon clan, would have been thinking and experiencing before they fought for liberty and freedom, during and after the great price that they paid to secure that freedom for us Jews. And then a year later, when they declared the beginning of the holiday of Hanukkah. The last 3-4 lines on the bottom, at the top of page 45, it's the last stanza, ensure. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people, Israel, and over Jerusalem. The canopy of peace, Ufos Aleinu, is thought of as being permanent and securing. Now look at the song sheet, Hanukkah Linda Sta Aquí. And if you know anything about Spanish, you know that esta means temporary. So beautiful Hanukkah is here because Hanukkah is finite. 8 days, she leaves, next year she'll come back. But it's a beautiful song, and it is Shabbat Hanukkah, so we're going to sing Hanukkah Linda Sta Aquí. It's on the song sheets. Ocho Candelicas. Got the song sheets? Okay, good. Linda está aquí. Linda's para mí. Linda está aquí. Oh. Dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para tú, para ti.
Muchas fiestas vão fazer, com alegria e prazer. Muchas fiestas vão fazer, com alegria e prazer.
Una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí.
Os pastelicos vou comer, com almendricas e lamer. Os pastelicos vou comer, com almendricas e lamer.
Candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, seis candelicas, siete candelicas, ocho candelas para mí. At the top of page 46, we normally sing this. The original Hashmonim, the Maccabean community, probably would have been reciting this, maybe meditating upon it. Certainly not the melodies that you and I are accustomed to the past 30, 40, 50 years when these current melodies have become a bit more popular. The English side, the top of page 46, the first stanza, this is Vishamru. The people of Israel shall observe Shabbat, maintaining it as an everlasting covenant throughout all generations. It is a sign between me and the people of Israel for all time, that in 6 days Adonai made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day ceased from work and rested. And that's why 1 day out of 7 we change our lives because of this. And the Hashmonim would have been paying attention to that very seriously. Yitkadal vitkadash shemei rabbah yom tolei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael bagala bagala uv'izman kariv v'imero amen yeshmei rabbah mevarach Le'olam le'olmei olmaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitparv'ton v'yinaseh v'yidhadar v'yitale v'yitalal Shemei d'kedusha brechu le'elam korachata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'yimeru amen. Tonight, the Amida changes, so you need a little bit of a roadmap. So if you will, we begin in a moment on page 47, but first, jump to page 50. Because it's Shabbat, the holiday is on our minds, the holiday of Hanukkah, but something else is also on our minds. It just got dark a little while ago. So that means, number one, the DAY has changed, right? We're now in Shabbat mode. We know that we're in the week of the holiday of Hanukkah, but something else is going on because it's now Rosh Chodesh. Yippee, skippy! It's the next month. We're now in the month of Tevet, which is really exciting because it's a whole new month before us. And Jewish people pay attention to every month. It's almost like having a mini Rosh Hashanah. How will we live in the next month ahead? The way that on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur we think about how will we live in the year ahead based upon having learned from our mistakes and celebrated in our accomplishments. So it's Rosh Chodesh. So if you look at page number 50, in the center of the page, you have this paragraph. It's both in the Hebrew and the English, and there's a little red italicized instruction on Rosh Chodesh. We add, and that's here, so during the silent prayer you might consider that. Again, appreciating what does it mean to have an entire new month before us, and how will we improve our lives and the lives of those people with whom we interact during the month ahead. That's item one. Here comes the roadmap. Look at the very bottom of the page. Very tiny red print at the very, very bottom of the page. On Hanukkah, we had Al Hanisim on page 430, which means that we turn to page 430. And as we get to page 430, which is in the back of the Siddur, if you're so inclined to recite the traditional prayers. Different people do different things during their private prayer time. On page 430, this is the prayer that's identified with Hanukkah. It's here on the top of page 430. Side note for those trivia buffs, if you happen to turn one more page, the Al Nisim on the next page is for Purim. And there are similarities that we are familiar with between the holiday of Hanukkah and the holiday of Purim. We're not talking about Purim right now. But that's why these two little prayers are here side by side. So if you're so inclined, and this speaks to you to say the Al Hanisim during the silent prayer, you're welcome to do so. So we rise now for the silent prayer. Again, the traditional text begins on page 47. We have Ya'alev Yavo on page 50, Al Hanisim 430, and a few minutes of silent prayer in any way that you offer your tefillah, your prayer. The night before last, Jewish history changed. Alabama history changed. Because the night before last, Governor Ivey invited Jewish people from all over the state to the Hanukkah menorah lighting at her mansion. And some will say, oh, been there, done that. Because yes, 3 years ago there was a Hanukkah lighting at her mansion. And 2 years ago there was a Hanukkah lighting at her mansion, not last year, but this year. But I'm going to say, anytime somebody opens her home or his home to Jewish people in these days and says, come, you're welcome to come into my home, that matters. And anytime that somebody says, come to my home in an informal capacity with respect, that's important. But when the leader of the state in her official capacity opens her mansion, which is really the people's house, and says, Jewish people from all over the state, you're welcome to come here and light the menorah, that matters. And as you know, Jewish people from the 4 federations, Huntsville, Birmingham, Montgomery, and Mobile were invited, and there were some Christian family members and friends there, I imagine, as well. And a Hanukkah menorah was set up. And 3 years ago, the Ahavas Chesed sisterhood gave a gift to the governor, and that's that Hanukkah menorah that was used 3 years ago, and 2 years ago, and the night before last. And so every time for the past 3 years that it comes to Hanukkah, and I start looking at menorahs, I remember that the sisterhood of a small synagogue in Mobile, Alabama, gave a gift to the governor. Light changes who we are. Light dispels darkness. Light brings warmth to the heart, to the mind, to the soul. And then the governor said something that still rings in my ears. And it's very emotional to hear. Governor Kay Ivey said that the state of Alabama stands with the Jewish community. The state of Alabama stands with Jews. And she spoke of the 15, quote, beautiful souls in Australia at Bondi Beach who were murdered by somebody who hates. And for a governor of the state to pause when she could have just said, Happy Hanukkah, sit down and let the rabbi light, which would have been customary and satisfactory, for her to stop and say, I'm paying attention to you, the international Jewish community, and the Jewish community of the state of Alabama, the people that you and I share air with, share the ground, the state of Alabama we walk upon, meant a great deal. And anybody who was there heard those words. It was a short ceremony. We lit the candles. We sang Hatikva. We sang Moed Tzur, Am Yisrael, and then we adjourned. But I will never forget that the governor of the state of Alabama paid attention to where we are. And that matters. And as the years go by, and you and I are witness to opportunities for goodness and for kindness and for caring, it matters. And as you and I see time rolling past us and we notice experiences of hate and of racism and bigotry and prejudice and cruelty, we know how important light and warmth and caring are. And that's what I want us to see when we look at this Hanukkah. I want us to see, even as the flames are descending and not quite gone yet, in our mind's eye, that a Hanukkah was lit 3 times at the governor's mansion in Montgomery, and Governor Kay Ivey paid attention to who we are and where we are at this point. And that's holy. And that's sacred. And that's why Jewish history and Alabama history were made the night before last. May we pay attention to each other. We have a lot of light that we can bring into the world. We all say, Amen. We rise the Aleinu. On page 56, page 56. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latet gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kgoye aratzot velo samanu k'mishpachot adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Noteh Shamayim v'Yosei Haaretz U'Moshad Yekaro B'Shamayim Mimal U'Shchinatu Zo B'Gavei Meromim Hu Eloheinu Ein Od Emet Malkeinu Efes Zulato Kakatu B'Tarato V'Yadata Yom V'Shevota El Vavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim B'Shamayim Mimal V'Al Haaretz V'Al Haaretz Mitachat Ein Od. Okay, Nick. Very good. Okay. Kakatu b'Toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad O Shema echad. And now in a moment on page 58, some people are accustomed to remaining standing for the Kaddish. Others might choose to have a seat, and that's personal preference. The Kaddish is a moment on page number 58. And on this Shabbat, we remember Morris Mishevsky, Hyman Gilbert Buckman, Mary Maisel Kahn, Zalman Aaron Weber, Chaya Rachel Weber, Fanny Mitchell, David Gordon, David Lifshitz, Max Buckman, George Heyman, Al Kahn, Marjorie Slavin. We're remembering people we don't know, the people who were killed in Bondi Beach. They're outside for a Hanukkah celebration. We don't know who they are, but they're part of us. And we're also still wounded from the attacks by Hamas on October 7th. So those who are inclined to recite the Kaddish are welcome to do so. Others might choose to say Amen. Kaddish is on page number 58. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabo. Amen. Be'olma divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chaye echon v'yom echon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zaman karif v'imiru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabo mivarach lo'olam ololmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei t'kudusha b'rich hu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran ba'olma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. It's the conclusion of the Kaddish, but it's very appropriate. Tonight we're going to conclude this instead of a different song, Oseh Shalom. And we have to sing this loudly enough for people again in Australia and Israel to hear us. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Chag Urim Sameach, happy holiday of light. Folks, you're part of our lives. May God bless you. We send you our love and our hope and our prayer. We hope to see you at some point in the near future. Until that moment, just know you're part of our community. Shabbat Shalom, good Rosh Chodesh, good Chodesh, and happy Hanukkah.